Imagine a civilization so advanced they had flush toilets and underground sewage systems for 1,000 years before Europe even considered hygiene. Then, without warning, 5 million people vanished from the face of the earth. No bodies, no battles, no explanation. What happened to them remains one of history's most terrifying unsolved mysteries. Cluster Story. This is Cluster Story, where we take a deep dive into history to get a great understanding of how we got here. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell, like and share this video. The accidental discovery. The year was 1856. British engineers were constructing a railway line across colonial India when workers stumbled upon something extraordinary. Thousands of ancient bricks, perfectly uniform in size, buried beneath the soil. The workers had no idea they were standing on the grave of a forgotten empire, an empire that would rewrite everything we thought we knew about ancient history. For decades, these mysterious ruins were ignored, dismissed as insignificant. It wasn't until 1921 that archaeologists finally began to dig. What they uncovered sent shockwaves through the academic world. A civilization that rivaled ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. A civilization that history had somehow forgotten. They called it the Indus Valley Civilization, and nothing about it made sense. Cities of the impossible. Picture this. The year is 2500 BC. While most of humanity lives in primitive huts and struggles for survival, there exists a city more advanced than anything the ancient world has ever seen. Its name is Mohenjo-Daro, meaning the mound of the dead, and it was home to 40,000 people who lived in ways that would not be replicated for millennia. The streets were laid out in perfect grids. Buildings rose 2 and 3 stories high. Every single home had access to fresh water. Every single home had its own bathroom. Waste flowed through covered drains beneath the streets, emptying into a sophisticated sewage system that European cities wouldn't achieve until the 19th century. 4,000 years later, this wasn't a fluke. 500 miles away stood Harappa, another massive city built with the same impossible precision. And between them, over 1,000 smaller settlements spread across an area larger than ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia combined. This was not a kingdom. This was an empire of innovation, the Great Bath and Sacred Mysteries. At the heart of Mohenjo-Daro lies a structure that has baffled researchers for a century. The Great Bath, 39 feet long, 23 feet wide, nearly 8 feet deep, lined with waterproof bitumen that still holds water to this day. What was it used for? No one knows for certain. Some believe it served as a ritual purification pool, suggesting a complex religious system. Others theorize it was a public gathering place for the elite. What we do know is that whoever built this understood engineering principles that their contemporaries could not even imagine. And here is where the mystery deepens. Unlike every other ancient civilization, the Indus Valley shows no evidence of temples or monuments to kings. No grand tombs, no statues of rulers demanding worship. In a world where pharaohs built pyramids and kings declared themselves gods, the Indus people left behind no trace of their leaders. It's as if power worked differently here, as if society itself operated under rules we cannot comprehend. The unbreakable code they left behind: over 4,000 inscribed objects, seals, tablets, pottery shards, each one covered in strange symbols that dance on the edge of meaning. the Indus script, 400 distinct signs that have resisted every attempt at translation for over 100 years. The greatest cryptographers in the world have tried. Supercomputers have analyzed every pattern. Artificial intelligence has searched for hidden connections. Nothing has worked. We have decoded Egyptian hieroglyphics. We have cracked Mesopotamian cuneiform. We have unlocked the secrets of Mayan glyphs. But the Indus script remains silent, guarding its secrets with stubborn immortality. Some researchers believe it's not a language at all, but a system of religious or political symbols. Others insist it contains the key to understanding everything about this civilization. The names of their gods, the laws of their society, the reason for their disappearance, all of it locked away in signs that refuse to speak. A civilization without war now here is perhaps the most extraordinary detail of all. In all the excavations across all the Indus Valley sites, archaeologists have found almost no weapons, no defensive walls protecting cities, no depictions of warfare or conquest, no mass graves from battles, no glorification of military victories. For nearly 1,000 years, this civilization thrived in apparent peace. While every other ancient society built armies and celebrated conquests, the Indus people seem to have found another way. They focused on trade instead of territory. They built dockyards and standardized weights for commerce. They created the first known system of standardized measurement in human history. Merchants from Mohenjo-Daro traded with Mesopotamia, exchanging precious stones, cotton textiles, and exotic goods across thousands of miles. They were capitalists before capitalism existed. They were globalists in an age of isolation, and somehow, impossibly, they did it without swords. Daily life in the ancient metropolis close your eyes and walk through the streets of Harappa. Children play with small clay toys, miniature carts with working wheels. Women wear elaborate jewelry of gold, silver, and precious stones. Men conduct business using perfectly calibrated bronze scales. The smell of bread bakes from communal ovens. The sound of craftsmen shaping copper tools echoes through the lanes. These people cultivated wheat, barley, peas, and sesame. They domesticated cattle, sheep, and the earliest known chickens used for eggs. They wove cotton into fabric, becoming the first civilization in history to produce cotton textiles. The clothes on your back trace their origin to their looms. They practiced dentistry. Yes, dentistry. Archaeologists have discovered drilled teeth showing evidence of ancient fillings. They understood medicine in ways we are only beginning to appreciate. This was not a primitive society struggling to survive. This was a civilization living well. The Vanishing, and then around 1900 BC, it all began to end. The great cities started to empty. The sophisticated infrastructure crumbled. Within 2 centuries, the Indus Valley Civilization had completely collapsed. 5 million people scattered to the winds of history. What happened? Theories abound, each more haunting than the last. Some scientists point to climate change. Evidence suggests the monsoon patterns shifted dramatically, turning fertile lands into deserts. Rivers dried up, crops failed. The very water that gave life to the civilization may have abandoned it. Others believe a catastrophic flood destroyed the major cities. Layers of silt found in Mohenjo-Daro suggest devastating floods struck multiple times. Perhaps the river that nurtured them eventually consumed them. A newer theory proposes that tectonic activity actually changed the course of rivers, cutting off water supplies to entire regions. The Earth itself may have betrayed them. But here is what makes the disappearance so disturbing. There is no evidence of sudden death, no mass graves, no signs of violence or disease. The people simply left. They packed their belongings and walked away from cities their ancestors had built over centuries, as if they knew something was coming, as if they received a warning we will never hear. The legacy that lives today, the blood of the Indus Valley people, flows through the veins of millions across South Asia. Their innovations echo through time, the grid-patterned cities, the emphasis on sanitation, the tradition of cotton textiles, even certain religious practices may trace back to their forgotten temples. But they left us with more questions than answers. Who were their gods? What did their writings say? How did they maintain peace for so long? And why, at the height of their power, did they choose to disappear? Some mysteries are meant to be solved. Others are meant to remind us how little we truly know. The Indus Valley Civilization is both a testament to human genius and a humbling reminder that even the greatest societies can be swallowed by time. 4,000 years ago, they lived, loved, built, and dreamed beneath the same stars we see tonight. Their story is our story, and their silence is our challenge. If this video opened your eyes to a civilization you never knew existed, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Cluster Story is just getting started. The past has more secrets to reveal, and we will uncover them together. Until next time, remember, history is not dead. It is only waiting to be discovered.